So my name is Dominic Gabaldon, and I'm the Assistant Program Manager with Safer New Mexico now.
Okay, so there's a car seat inspection coming up in Tularosa on Saturday the 27th. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. So every car seat clinic that we have in New Mexico, we schedule appointments or have walk-ins for families to go ahead and bring in their child with their car seat that they're looking to get inspected. What we do is we have our trained technicians go ahead and take a look at those car seats just to make sure they're installed correctly, educate the parent on any misuses that we find. We also look to make sure that it's not on the recall list and that it hasn't been involved in a crash. If we do find that the car seat is not suitable for any child, what we do is we replace the car seat with a brand new car seat for a $35 donation.
Now, it's interesting you say it's never been in a crash. What kind of damage can happen to a car seat in an accident?
Yeah, so a lot of families don't know this, but even with the minor crashes that you can have, or even having a car seat sitting in unsafe environments, car seats are essentially, 90% plastic, so what happens is they break down over time. So a lot of the car seats that you see, they have different expiration dates, and it's because that material breaks down over time that we want to make sure we keep an eye on that. So if a car seat is involved in a crash, whether you can see anything broken on the outside or not, there may be some internal damage, there can be bending or any sort of melted material inside. So that's why we want to make sure that if the car seat has been involved in a crash, we want to ask the parents and caregivers if the car was deemed totaled or if the car seat had any broken or misused places of the pieces of the car seat. So we always ask all those questions at our events just to make sure we have all the information we possibly have for that car seat.
Now, one thing I do see a lot, and I know it's wrong, but I want you to explain to our listeners why I do see people still placing children in car seats in the front seat and facing front when they're little. Tell me why it's bad to put them in the front seat when they're in a car seat and why the little ones need to be facing to the rear anyway.
Of course, and one of the things that we do teach parents and caregivers or even new technicians or when we do the trainings itself, what we do want to make sure everybody knows is that there are stages to every car seat, right? So we always want to keep the child rear-facing as long as possible. And a lot of the things that we do see, especially with misuses, like you were saying, putting a car seat in the front seat, it could just be that maybe the parent just doesn't know. A lot of things have changed over the years, and there have been a lot of new laws put in place, especially for the children who need to stay rear-facing. With that being said, the law here in New Mexico actually states that the child must stay rear-facing up to a year and 20 pounds. So it's just some information that parents and caregivers may not know about, and that's why we're here, just to make sure that we educate our communities in the area. And one of the things that we want to make sure that they know is that when you graduate in different car seats, you're actually demoted in safety, because if you see it, when a car seat is rear-facing, the car seat is taking all of the stress and all of the actual crash and spreading it through the crash force of the car seat. But when the child's forward-facing, the only thing that's holding that child in place is just the harnessing system. So there are other factors that kind of play into that. The other thing that we play into that as well is when we are looking at where the car seat is placed, we're looking at any airbags that are in the area. Because when an airbag comes out, essentially they're coming out at over, 200, 300 miles per hour. And if a car seat is in front of that, it can do a lot of damage for that, especially if the car seat is rear-facing. Now, there are some instances, very rare occasions, where we're looking at the car seat to be in the front seat forward-facing with the car seat, vehicle seat, moved all the way back and the airbag turned off. But those are very rare. We're always going to make sure that the child stays in the safest position, which is the back seat center position, as long as possible. And what we do is we call that the golden rule, or best practice is what we call it. Keep the child rear-facing as long as possible, in the back center position as long as possible, and we keep them in a harnessing as long as possible.
This is all very good information for people to know. When I was a kid, we rode in the front and we didn't have car seats. I remember even standing up in the seat. A lot has changed since then.
Yeah, a lot has definitely changed since then. I remember I was the same exact way in a pickup truck, sitting in the back.
Oh yeah,
and just no, there's a car coming. Everybody lay down, because we didn't want to get in trouble. So yeah, a lot has changed. There's a lot of new things out on the road. Speed limits have changed over time. Just so many different aspects of what is different on the roads that make it so unsafe for us not to be restrained in the vehicle.
All right, so the event is happening on Saturday 27th. Tell me the time and the place.
Yeah, of course. So it's going to be at the New Mexico Department of Transportation Yard. That is US 54, 7697 Tularosa, New Mexico. Again, like you said, it's going to be Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to noon. And this is an open to the public event, so it's a first come, first serve.
And if somebody wants
And
some
then,
more information?
Yeah, of course. So there's just some more information on that. If the parent does feel like their car seat is not appropriate for their child, if they are looking to make sure the car seat is deemed safe or if it's okay for the child moving forward, we want to make sure that we have the child present there because our technicians do have measuring tape and also a scale for the children just to make sure we get the accurate reading of their height and weight. And so that way we can make sure if we do replace the car seat, we know exactly which car seat is going to be safe for them moving forward.
And just to be clear, taking a child and duct taping that child to the front bumper, that's just considered bad too, right? That's not good?
Yeah, I think that's frowned upon these days.
All right. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to share?
Oh, yes. So we have these events all over New Mexico every single month. Not only do we have the car seat clinics, but we have what's called fitting stations throughout New Mexico. If anybody ever has any questions about that or if they're looking to schedule an appointment, they can always call us. Again, we are Safe in New Mexico Now. We're a nonprofit with Department of Transportation. The phone number they can always reach us at is 505-856-6143.